it for almost 14 years now, and I've been with Plexus for 12 of those. So to say that the Plexus business and income has shaped our life and blessed us so dramatically would be an understatement. I'm so grateful. And when they asked me to speak today, I was so honored because I know that the men, women, couples in this room, that you guys have impacted thousands of lives, and you've already moved such mountains. And the stories and experiences in this room alone could write hundreds of books and so many podcasts that I would love to listen to. So when I share today, please just hear it as a peer to a peer, someone who is passionate about this company and loves this industry. So they asked me to share because I have been Diamond. I reached Diamond at 25 years old, and I've been Diamond for 9 years now. And last year, I decided to start building my Reentry account. And this July, I was able to hit Emerald on that account. Last month have over Emerald points, and this month set to do the same. So I want to share with you 5 key things that I feel really helped me go from holding Diamond, being really steady with that, to building a whole new leg. The first one, you guys have heard it 1,000 times, we tell our teams every day, right? And that is mindset. So, do you remember when you were a newer ambassador, maybe gold, senior gold, and you would see all the jewels walk across the stage like you saw today and think, man, when I hit jewel, I'll have it all figured out, right? Then I'll know what I'm doing. And then you reach jewel and you're like, still no idea what I'm doing, right? How naive we were. I remember feeling that so greatly when I first hit Diamond. I struggled for years with impostor syndrome, like Darcy was talking about. And in some way, I remember feeling like, I wonder if people, when they'll discover that I just got lucky, right? And in some way, that was a little bit true. I have an amazing downline under me. I had my mom, she hit Diamond in 11 months. It took me 3 years, right? I had Wendy Larson and Eva Schmidt and Jessica Hugendorn and Fallon Black and Brittany Howard, Christina Williams. When I start name dropping my downline, people's jaw hits the floor. And so I dealt with that imposter syndrome. All these women are so incredible. Do I deserve to be here? And it really came down to seeing the power of this industry. That in my opinion, I will never deserve that downline. But that's the beauty of this industry, that your one yes has the ability to create a ripple effect of yeses that goes farther than you could ever achieve yourself, right? So I had to, even Diamond for 9 years, steady, high point Diamond, had to still deal with this imposter syndrome of, well, my name's not on the leaderboard, or my team can out-recruit me, or I haven't had a new gold, or my senior ruby is still at senior ruby, all of these thoughts. And I had to decide to lay those down, to just be so incredibly grateful for what has happened and what we can do here, and to move forward out of that gratitude and connect to that deep vision and why of what is possible if we're not hearing those tiny little fears of doubts and should you really be there? Did you really earn that? Right? So laying that down and stepping into possibility. I remember when I kind of hit this moment last year, I called my upline, Elizabeth's phone. She probably remembers I was bawling for hours on the phone, and I had my journal and I had all these questions, and I talked to my husband and I was praying all the time, am I gonna, because there's a lot of hesitation to step into a reentry. Everybody's gonna see me and how long it takes for ranks, and I'm putting myself out there in a new way, right? And I remember wrestling with that, and here's the questions that I had to ask myself. And as a peer-to-peer, I want to do the same for you. These were the questions I cried over. Have I been playing it small? Have you possibly been playing it smaller than you can? Has the fears, have the thoughts, have the doubts, have the insecurities been louder than the dreams and the vision and the gratitude of what you can achieve, right? I had to face those and realize, yes, I had been. There was still so much more I could do here if I got over myself and just tapped into the power of it is what we do, and the freedom and the love and the joy of that. So I kind of pulled on my big girl boots, right? And decided that this gift, and this is what I want to encourage everyone here if I can, this gift that you have been given, let's not be the ones who bury our talent in the sand out of fear and what if, but who take it and instead risk it and multiply it, because this room still has so much left to build and do, right? Can you imagine everyone in this room? We would triple, we would quadruple if we could all lay down that insecurity and have that vision and excitement and gratitude of what we can bring in. So that's what I decided to tap into. That was the mindset. Now that we're over that heavy part, I went into the work, and these are the next 4 steps, the work of what it took once I shifted those thoughts. And every day, like Darcy said, it is a choice. There's still months where I'm like, man, it's quiet. No, Amber, my confidence is not rooted in this month. My confidence is rooted in that this plexus has given me a model to build out far beyond. And I'm grateful to be able to do that regardless of this month. I'm excited for next month, right? So I still have to choose that. But here's what it looked like. Step number 2, I still remember writing in my journal and thinking, how do I do this? How am I going to build a reentry? Because there's days I wonder how I'm even here. Gold under goals became my vision, my hardcore strategy. If I could create goals that had goals underneath them while they were rising up, I could retain and grow from there. At this time, the year prior, just full vulnerability, I had only had 1 level 1 gold rank up that year prior. This summer, we had 6 level 1 gold rank ups. Thank you. And 7 more that are working on it sometime this year. So, I'm coming from a place of I didn't have it, but it happened. And it was from solely focusing on creating that. So how did I do it? I remember thinking, if I want women who are going to be gold and create golds, I need to speak to them in a different way. I need to draw them in with something far beyond going silver or $300, right? I had to draw them in on a vision. I wanted them to come in and be excited to build this thing out. So anything I spoke about, my posts, my stories, my conversations, it was all far vision oriented. It wasn't 3 for 300 or whatever stats you have. It was far beyond that. I talked about the emotion. I didn't use dollar amounts. You're welcome, compliance. No dollar amounts. It was all vision and the emotion of getting to wake up and have coffee with your husband and he doesn't rush out the door, right? That's what I spoke to. So when women came to me or when we were in conversation, that's where their focus was too. And still, a lot came for products, but it was with the phrase of, if I love these products, I want what you have. I want to build this out. And that is what I grabbed onto and just talked about and built out bigger, right? My second strategy with that, once I had them in, was showing them exactly what they were trying to create. So I had a brand newbie that might not even have signed a single person yet, and I was showing them a visual, a very ugly visual, so it's not special, of just like the little bubble maps, and you with 1 person, that person with 3 people, and showing them the power of the industry that I saw, and why I saw so much wisdom here. And they would catch it, right? Of, yeah, I can see what you're saying. This is why you don't need to know a ton of people. This is why all the 6 diamonds on stage today, I did my homework, none of them have mass followings or networks. It's because of the power of our industry, right? And I would show them that and give them that vision so that that was the bar of what they were trying to create. I didn't say, go refer 3, go refer 10, go refer 17. That was not in my language. It was go find someone who wanted to also build with you. And what that looked like on the applicable side was teaching them how to post and talk about the business. It came from them being so inspired and excited and teaching them how to take that into their posting and in their conversations. how to have that with everybody, so that they weren't just drawing product users, but they were drawing biz interest, right? Giving them that visual, teaching them to talk, training weekly on the steps to build goal development. So we made a call every single Friday. It's going gold, so if they're still brand new, I have newbies that aren't even silver on this call, going gold and creating goals. And we're talking to them. I'm talking to my silver as if she already has a gold underneath her. There's no holding back here, right? Of course, I don't scare them away. I kind of like ease them into that, but there's a lot of community and support, and they catch that vision. So they know where they're going and they stay. That's the big thing to me. I don't care if it takes them, because often it might take them a while. It's gonna take them a little bit to find their own gold, right? But they're staying and they're sticking with it because they understand the power of duplication and what they're building out. So that was my first thing, golds under golds, which Gold School has been incredible for. I have a vision, and I tell my team this all the time, I lead them with vision. We're gonna be, hold me to it, a Gold School where we bring 40 of our own team members to a Gold School, because it's gold after gold after gold. And we build these up huge. So that's really helped. Number 3 was the 90-day rule. So this is just a quick one I'm going to throw in because I have to remind myself of it all the time. And it was that anything that you implement is going to take at least 90 days to see the result of. This came into key for me when I decided, all right, I need some goals. I got to go figure out how to bring them in. And I would put up stories and all the conversations, and I'd hear feedback from my peers of, your stories are amazing, that's incredible. And I would be like, well, great, because nobody else thinks so. Like nobody was flocking to me. And I remember talking to Trisha, and if you know Trisha Rieger, she's hilarious. She was like, well, Amber, you just haven't given it the 90 days. Like that was her saying all the time to me. So I thought, okay, 90 days. And I still do that, and I still see that cycle through. So if you go home and try these out, remember, 90 days, and that's a thing on our team that we repeat over and over and over again. 90 days, you cannot judge your results month to month. So I applied that rule. Number 4 was I leaned so heavily, I heard this on inspiration and recognition over IPA sheets. So in the past, on my diamond account, you guys, it is embarrassing if we could total up how many silver steps and IPA checklist, and every single way I tried to make them forms and videos and websites, and at one point I was like, should I hire an app company? Every single way to create a system to get them to do the work. And partially it's not all our fault if we're doing that, because that's what we hear from them often, right? Well, if I only had this better video, or if I only had this training, then I would. And so we kind of scramble and try to make that. What I had to realize is, no, that is just their excuse of hiding behind something they're saying they lack, because they're not actually, you're like, amen. They're not actually doing the work. So I decided I'm not building a single new tool. That is not how we're doing this. We are totally going forward on inspiration alone. So some applicable ways I do that and lead through that. And I still have to check myself. Every once in a while I'll be like, maybe I need a new training or a new step. Nope, I gotta re-inspire this group, right? And so a few ways, we use Facebook groups for things like Zooms and holding information, but I went to using all chats. So I have a new income earner chat that restarts every single month, and if they say they want to earn an income, they're in that chat. I don't make them earn it, they're just able to be in it. And I will make graphics of, if someone's trying to hit silver, I'll make a graphic with their face, put the 3 little spots on it, and I'll say, send it into the chat when you check one off, and they're so excited to get that immediate dopamine effect of letting everyone else see that they did something. It's kind of like, I always joke that if I work out, you will know, because it will be on my stories, right? It's the same for them. It's that immediate dopamine. We'll have, I call them leaderboard chats, and I'll look at my team, and this is what I believe about our teams. They are their own living, breathing entity, right? It has its own lifeblood, so sometimes it needs something different than others. And I'll look at them and see, what does this team, what do I need right now? And so I'll make leaderboard chats where I'll say, every time you send 10 messages, put your name on this chat, copy and paste this little text message back with your name, and when we hit 40 names on it, I'll do a prize or some kind of cash unlock. Now, it's not the prize or the cash unlock, because I've tried $5 and I've tried $100. It doesn't matter. It is just them getting their name seen and recognized for doing the thing, right? So the more I can inspire that, I'll wake up in the morning and I'll send just voice messages. I used to think this was a goofy way to get people to do something. I thought, no, you have to have a good IPA sheet. I'll just send voice messages and say, hey, I just was thinking about you this morning, and I wanted to message you and tell you why I know that you're gonna hit goal this month, and I'm so excited to see this in you. And I'll just walk around in my yard sending voice message after voice message. That is what moves people. People don't move product. Inspired people move product, right? So the more we can inspire, and that's just always what I go back to in my thought. So I'll do this one thing. I had one example, just to give you one more example of it. In August, I was like, what do I want this team to do? I want them to go for 4 level 1s and 4 level 2s. I wanted to reward that. So I made a graphic like this just on Canva and had everybody's faces on it. There's like 50 of them. And put it in the chat and said, here's the leaderboards, and I tracked it. I gave them their own individuals for them to send back to the group chat. They were so excited and so motivated to see their faces on this and encourage each other and reward each other. So this is just one example of how I wake up in the morning and think, what can I do? And come up with something like that when you're leading with inspiration. And the 5th really connects back to this, okay? The 5th is my favorite. And that is energy. You do not, this is what I have to remind myself, you do not get paid for the amount of time you put into this business. You get paid for the amount of energy you put into this business, right? There's a quote that I heard when I was right on the brink of starting this from, what's his name? Craig Groeschel, I think. And he said, to get a rocket ship off the ground, it takes a massive amount of energy and rocket fuel, because you need to overcome the gravitational pull of the atmosphere, right? Creating business momentum in your business is no different, probably harder. It takes a disproportionate amount of energy to overcome the pull of comfortable, insecurities, doubts, fears, the 90-day rule, the patience. It takes so much energy. And in the beginning, I had to be okay with knowing that my energy input was not gonna equal the output results. They weren't gonna be even. It was gonna take so much more of me, right? So if it takes so much more of you, where does that energy come from? Because if it's coming from a frantic, anxious, just, gotta hit the goal this month, or gotta win the cruise this month, if it's coming from that frantic, anxious space, it will burn out. And one time I heard someone say, and I was like, wow, that was a smack in the face, is that there's only 9 ranks in Plexus. There's only 9 times that you can actually rank up. So, bad news, most of you in the room, you only have 2 or less, right? So, it can't be that rank up that motivates us. That can't be where we get our energy from. So where is it? For me, that energy had to come from a deep passion, a conviction, if you will, like I talked about in the beginning, that I had been given a gift and I hadn't even met, this is what I want to tell everyone in the room, you have not met the best version of yourself yet. The best version of you is still far out there. Doesn't that excite you? I wanted to know that it excited me to know I didn't reach that potential, and to tap into that vision and that passion for what could create here beyond my financial needs, beyond my point achievements. I have learned over 9 years that doesn't last. It's like sand under your feet, right? So my vision is to impact and to bring kingdom-minded families into abundance, because when they have abundance, they impact the kingdom, right? And And that is that vision when I wake up in the morning. That is what keeps me going. That is why when I hit diamond a second time, I will continue to go and create more diamonds because it's built on that vision and conviction. And I just want to encourage everyone here in this room that you have that within you to go out and to build and to impact thousands upon thousands of more lives this year, next year, and the year after that. So thank you so much.